Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's April 26, 2020. I'm over in the work area. I'm making some steady progress, so my health status has improved significantly. I'm getting a little more sleep. My gastrointestinal system seems to be functioning a little bit better, a little bit more consistently, moving gastrointestinal contents. I'm able to take in some food more frequently as my digestive system motility is moving along and successfully exiting out as it should, and I'm able to get more sleep and rest as opposed to before. Even though I may have been bedridden, I really wasn't getting rest or sleep. So now I'm able to get sleep and rest, which is a really amazing therapeutic. My central nervous system, which I've talked about before, the amount of agitation, irritation, the severe headaches I was having and all have drastically reduced. I'll talk about it in a minute. I still have some after high fever events. So I think I won't talk too much about other things over in here and what the plans are and all. But what do I think has probably been the most beneficial thing helping me to get through this terrible insult on my body from this infectious disease? I would always have said nutrition, good sleep, good rest, all those things. But the truth is, it's the fevers that have helped me out the most. The body's natural response of resetting the thermostat up in the hypothalamus, at the base of the brain, based on chemical communicators coming from cells that are systemically inflamed in the body. And that says, hey, there's enough of a battle out there. Let's turn up the thermostat, and all the muscles start doing their their shivering and that sort of thing at such a well distributed but mild level that you may not even realize that you're generating this increase in body temperature. Now, the temperatures that I've had that I think have potentially been somewhat beneficial, the temperatures of 100, 101, I can't really say that they've been beneficial at all. I've noted no significant reduction in my clinical abnormalities after temperatures of those ranges. Once I get up over 102 degrees Fahrenheit, now I'm starting to feel some effects, but really, when did I feel the most effects? Definitely well over 103, 103.5 degrees Fahrenheit. And those I did under as much controlled situations as I could. I try to prep for it, making sure there wasn't any food in my stomach at the time in case I would go into a seizure. Really bundling up, under 3 comforters, my big thick wool socks, heavy t-shirts and all, and trying to not cool myself off like I would naturally. When I really start to get hot, I'd keep myself covered up. And then what would happen during these high fever episodes is my consciousness would just abate. The next thing I would know would be I'd be waking up and I'd had thrown the covers off of me, and I'd be soaking wet in my t-shirt, my heavy t-shirt, that would be sitting in my own pool of sweat, freezing and shivering like crazy. My mental state during those periods of time was complete agitation, irritation, disorientation, feeling tremendously confused. Could I have had a seizure during that period of time? That is possible. My wife sleeps right alongside of me. And I don't believe that there were any signs that I did have a seizure. But that's always a concern when we start getting really high temperatures, especially when I'm insulating myself like this. I immediately take off that first sweatshirt, throw it on the floor because it weighs so much. Throw on a new fresh t-shirt. I'm still completely disoriented. I drink and drink and drink, probably drink at least 2 quarts at that time. Then go into the bathroom, turn on the lights, look in there and see, try to see, what I look like. And it probably takes me twice as long to just clean my teeth, wash my face. The other thing is you're sweating from every pore in your body. Your hair is stuck to you. You just feel like you want to get cleaned up and get warmed up again because you're absolutely freezing and chilling in these cold, sweaty temperatures following one of these fevers. So after probably about another 10 minutes, I'd have to change my shirt again because that would be drenched as well. And I put another shirt on. And I was oriented enough by that point in time that I could make it downstairs, get myself some toast, bring my wife up her coffee and bring my coffee up, which I still don't have the taste for the coffee. But I'd eat the toast down because I just needed energy tremendously. And then I'd drink down another 2 quarts of water as well. Probably over the next, after waking up from these high fevers to the point where it's maybe 4 hours later, I would each time note a remarkable improvement, whether my gut motility was making advancements, or mainly the headaches, the disorientation, a much clearer thought processes, being able to process information quickly and easily, visual acuity instead of my eyes being so difficult to focus in on text on a screen, those sorts of things. Those things, all I could see each day that I had these high fevers, it really made an improvement. And I did this every day, and my mild fevers in between, the 101s, it'd be something like 101.8 would be the highest, I guess, on average that I remember actually detecting it at. I can't say that that was making a big difference. It may have been holding the replication of this infectious agent under control. I don't know. But I certainly believe that when I had these high fevers, definitely well over 103 degrees Fahrenheit, that's when I felt that there must have been, I could just visualize in my body, massive, you could call it cleansing, you could call it kill rates of the virus particles and all. And it just seemed like the viral load was tremendously reduced after each and every one of these fevers and all. So I did a total of 4 of these high fever ones. Last night I elected not to have one. I decided to just let myself have a standard fever, which was probably about 102.4 or 5. No disorientation. I did sweat. I had to change my shirt, but there wasn't that terrible disorientation after these high fever episodes where you're, it's almost like being woken up, where you're completely disoriented, freezing, shivering, feel wet, and just want to get dried off and maybe go back to sleep again would be the thought. Like an unpleasant anesthetic recovery might be very similar to that as well. So I just wanted to share this, that those fevers are such an amazing treatment that nature has provided us with dealing with infectious agents, that there are no antimicrobials that affect these. It isn't like like a bacterial invader or a protozoan invader, where we have appropriate biocidal agents that can address these things. With these viruses, they're a different entity, and we can look at all the different means by which they gate entrance, the cell attachment, the fusion, the way that they take over our cellular machinery. We can look at these in vitamin D, elemental zinc, vitamin C. We can look at all sorts of different components, and probably the biggest tool in our chest that comes naturally is our fever. And and that is what I let go ahead and happen in me. Instead of trying to control a fever, I went ahead and embraced the fever. Now, could I have done some damage to brain cells? I could have. Definitely worth the risk as far as I'm concerned. So I am feeling much better, and I hope to post some videos as I slowly excuse me, as I slowly try to take on some of the very small tasks that I've got to do around here. And I'll show you some of the progress, like at the garlic and shallot area, and over here where the blueberries are, and all of the hardwood cuttings were taken out this spring as well. So, and then the seedlings, which Thea has been doing an amazing job taking care of the seedlings while I've been laid up. That was my job, and she's done a fantastic job. So, thank God for a good wife. So, I don't know if there's a need for me to talk more about this. The big key is nature, fever. That really makes a big difference. Stay hydrated, get your rest, eat good nutritious food, avoid bad habits. You know what they are. You know those things that make you fat, that make you want to sit there at night and eat the damn things that you shouldn't be eating and all. We all know what they are. Do the things that will invest in your future. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll try to get to some of the comments and questions that I've been getting recently. I've just put everything on the back burner while I'm trying to get through this initial recovery. The recovery is going to go on for a couple of months, I'm certain. But I've made it to the top of Everest as far as I'm concerned at this point. Take care, folks. Stay healthy. Bye-bye now.